Look, Avery. I found your feet.
Oh well. I guess Avery's like most people. Really. People see only two options. Mindless conformity or mindless rebellion. And either way, some company is doing your thinking for you. And, say, what's that?
Oh, I'm building a scale model of the Space Needle out of lollipop sticks and chewing gum.
I'm trying to decide if I should consider that reassuring or scary.
Does it have to be one or the other? You're going to go to school looking like that? Hee 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 hee. Well, looking silly is your right, I suppose. Darn it, rebelling is zero fun around here.
The Western Dragon, the bane of St. George. The terror of many an unsettling fairy tale. The mere mention of this fearsome creature could send villagers scurrying desperately for shelter. With the exception of an especially determined and hostile knight. Few things could give a dragon real cause for fear. No. Please. Anything but a trip to the dentist.
Honestly, Dad, this is almost as bad as your fear of rubber chickens. Dad, there's no reason to be afraid of going to the dentist.
Yes, I know that intellectually. It's simply that I grew up in a different era, when dentistry was a somewhat less developed science.
So they weren't as skilled with anesthesia?
Well, that's only the beginning. All right, open wide. I'll get started while my assistant prepares the leeches.
Well, at this moment, Dad's swallowing his fear of dentists and getting the tooth fixed. I'm proud of him. That moment when you step over the cliff can be terrifying, but then, when you discover it's only a 6-inch fall, it's profoundly liberating. Why, I bet right now he's discovering that fear is nothing but an illusion.
Hello, Doctor. I'm...
A-A-A-A-I-A-I-H. Okay, say ah.
Ah.
You know, it might be a better idea if, in your case, we avoided rinsing and spitting near any of the equipment.
So your dad survived his trip to the dentist?
Yup. His toothache is gone, and so, I think, is his fear. All that's left is some temporary fallout.
Novocaine is somehow even funnier on your dad.
You should have seen him trying to eat spaghetti.
What? You must have known you inherited it from somewhere.
I think. Therefore I am. Descartes said that.
Oh my gosh. That is, like, so geeky. How can you care what some nerdy historical French guy thinks when Dawson's Creek is on right now?
Descartes was pretty sharp, wasn't he?
I feel like I should find it more comforting that Felicia doesn't exist.
And it's all over now, baby blue.
Dude, that music sucks.
On the contrary. Music like this is part of our heritage. It expresses a unique part of the experience of being alive. It's through music that we reveal our pain. You know, I really do walk into these things.
A frosinator. A glurbladunk. Oh, a hookoo. An inhere clomp. A dress. A clobulant. Let's see. I know. A lichemobulator. We decided this game needed to be more of a challenge.
I'm going on a trip, and I'm bringing an abtwok, a blonker. Timely.
Hi.
You know, it's hard enough being hip without having Maria von Trapp for a little brother.
My brother says he's a lot cooler than me, Millie.
Yeah, well, Avery's not as cool as he thinks. No matter what he says. I'm sure he will grow out of it eventually.
How come?
Because no grown-up would ever be that deluded.
Actually, I lead a very active inner life.
Then maybe this strip should be taking place in your spleen. So the other day I was on the internet and...
Internet?
Internet.
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 What on earth was that?
Well, you said the word internet in a business area.
And?
And the internet is the wave of the future. Or so investors have read. So they throw money at you.
But I'm not actually a company of any kind.
Amazon.com has ever turned a profit. Their faith never wanes.
Wow. I could make some serious cash this way.
Hey investors. Millie's cutting back on her internet business. For every action, an equal and opposite reaction.
Adult life seems to be a cross between a Zinkoan and a cattle stampede.
I'll get it. Hello?
This is your final warning, foul beast. Mend thy ways, or we shall strike down upon thee with terrible force. Dragon-slaying knights?
The neighborhood association. They think Dad's Victorian garden gnomes are hurting their property values.
The neighborhood association is after your dad?
Ever since we moved in. They got mad the very first week, when Dad put in rose bushes without applying for a permit first.
All this fight over a few roses?
Their rules are like a religion. And it didn't stop with roses. At this point, I think he's mostly just egging them on.
Son, IT.P. at our yard again. Could you update our grocery list accordingly?
This is a pretty standard upper middle class homeowner's covenant, really.
Do they actually have any legal authority?
None at all, but I'm sure they believe they do. Enforcing rules is the only way some people can feel significant. The association president, for instance, is retired after 43 years of managing a factory that makes jar lids. Not that that has any inherent connection.
Nah. Say, here's the rest. Want to know how many centimeters high your grass need to be?
This is your last chance. Are you going to conform?
No.
No?
No. What are you going to do about it?
What are we going to do?
I'll be inside when you think of something.
Is your dad still grappling with the neighborhood association?
Of course. Dad's not doing anything bad enough for them to take him to court. And they know it. So it's a stalemate. Besides, what would Ahab have been without Moby Dick? Superman without Lex Luthor? Jerry Seinfeld without Newman? Sometimes, having a nemesis can be healthy.
Children, come on out and help me paint the fence plaid.
Of course, I mean healthy in its broadest possible sense. So after school, I went over to that new ice cream place. And, haha, your hat's so geeky, Ozzy. And Millie. You have a nerdy lunchbox. And you, smell like, teen spirit. No, I mean fish. Really old fish. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. trying to impress somebody cooler than us. So anyway, I ordered a chocolate sundae.
Oh my gosh. My life will never be the same. It's like an unspeakable loss. I'm totally shocked and saddened by this. Oh, totally. Now that he's gone, there's like an empty place in our hearts. Now that who's gone? I forget. It says here someplace. But it says right here that his life touched us all, and, in the wake of this latest young celebrity death, thousands flocked to the apartment building in which the deceased lived. They left flowers, chiseled off bits of the building, and had souvenir photos taken $15 apiece. In other news, traffic was backed up for 10 miles today on Highway 16, when drivers slowed down to watch local shoe salesperson Edna Flynn replace a flat tire.
Actually, I'm not sure this is other news.
I wanted to be part of said Gawker Marsha Podolsky. Avery, is that a cigarette?
SHHHH.
That seems idiotic even for you.
Well, I never would have. But this got to me. This is the most convincing pro-smoking advertisement I've ever seen. It's the first one I've ever seen that truly made me think smoking must be cool.
Kids, smoking is terrible. Signed, the Surgeon General, your teacher and your parents.
See? That's about as cool as it gets.